Hello again, this is Molly from Fortson Public Library. I'd hoped to share this craft for Earth Day, but we live on Earth every day. You can make this any time of year. Check this out. It's a completed bowl. It's made out of nothing but glue and recycled National Geographic magazines. You could use anything from recycled magazines to annoying junk mail sent to your home. I wanted to go over a couple of things that I learned about making this first project and then show you how to make your own. First things first, it takes forever to make the base, especially a wide one like is on this bowl. So my next one will be much smaller at the bottom. In fact, instead of a bowl to hold small bits from my pockets, my next creation is going to be a pen cup, about the size of the tin can you'll see me referencing throughout this video. Other thing is the sides are the most difficult part. It's a balance of trying to keep it built up in the direction you want and it not folding in on itself while it's still wet from the glue, but you also want to use enough glue that it's not trying to uncurl. To help with that difficulty with the sides, a couple of bowl clips are going to be your best friend. I call it a bowl clip. Sorry, it's not in focus. It has two little horns and a little snoot. Anyway, that'll help hold things in place when we do work on building up the sides. I am going to make it about the size and shape of this tin can that you see. The other thing you need to know about this project is that it's not hard, it just takes a long time. The footage you see here speeds things up significantly, and I am sharing this project through the library, so I am going to say this is an excellent time to check out some things online. You can check out a film or music from Hoopla. You can get an audiobook from oodles of the resources that we have. Now, let's get into some of the basics that's going to be involved with making this bowl. You're going to make about a bajillion of these ripped pieces of paper. I will be showing you with a ruler what I found to be the easiest way to do that. Now, if you are an overachiever, extra, a little bit anal retentive, then you can organize your paper by color. I wanted this bowl to have bright colors with black. The previous bowl I made with blues, browns, grays, white. I wanted a little bit more earthy. This one I want more bright and bold colors. So here we are going to see how to do the tearing. Again, we're going to do this at a very high speed. I'm using a ruler, not because I'm actually using the measuring. I am using the ruler because it has a straight edge and a consistent width that I find useful. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the paper, laying it down, doing this all on a big plastic lid so that I can move from room to room in the house as I feel like it while working on this project. Also, it keeps me from getting glue on any of the nice tables. And oh my gosh, you are going to use so much glue. Those 4 glue sticks are just a small portion of how much I used. You could probably get away with using Mod Podge or a liquid glue, but I really feel like glue sticks were the good choice here. So what I'm going to do is take this ruler, putting it down on the paper to make these strips. Lay it down on the edge and then tear. Ta-da! You've got a little strip of paper just the right size. I'm literally using the width of the ruler to make everything the same size. No measuring, no wasting time with that. Just tear, tear, tear. And I wind up with a little tiny scrap that I could use for maybe a paper mache project if I really wanted. Now to make the ropes. Little strip of glue down the middle. Fold it about in a third. Another strip of glue now. And then fold that other third down. I don't want any bits hanging off the edge. I'm wanting one nice thing. Now to connect it to the next piece to make nice long strings, we're going to do the same process, glue down the middle, but I'm going to take the end of the previous one, stick it inside, add some more glue on top, and then fold it down again, glue, and fold it over again. And that's how you make your ropes. And then those ropes make the curled up base. We made oodles of those ropes, and now you're going to get to see me add it all up to curl together. So once you have a ton of those ropes, you literally start making like a little cinnamon roll. You're gluing as you go. Glue, roll it a little bit, glue, roll it a little bit, glue, roll it a little bit, and over and over and over you go. And don't try to make one giant string. What I did is made lots of strings, about however many strips I got out of a page. I would make that into a string, and then I would connect those strings as I went on this curling process. You can see I'm connecting another string to the curl here. It just is easier to keep from it tangling up if you have them as separate and then you connect them as you go. If you don't have a giant box lid at your disposal for creating this project, I would suggest getting some wax paper or some parchment paper. In general, find something that is going to either be something that you can recycle after this, something that's not going to get stuck to your creation anyway, but mostly don't ruin a table. Don't have somebody fussing at you because you made a craft that I'm testing there to see if the base is as big as I want it and getting close. Nope. So as we start building up the sides, I'm having about 2/3 of it still stick onto the side that's already attached, and I'm building up, and I realized as I was doing this that it was getting bigger around than I wanted it to. It was getting too wide. So after a couple of layers going out, I would take another one and kind of have it swirling in. So I was switching up the directions it was going. So this made it to where it was kind of not the same width on the outside. We were able to even that out in the end. These bull clips are absolutely wonderful for this process of keeping things clipped together and keeping it from uncurling while it's drying. I do recommend, especially if you're doing something tall like this, that you take breaks, let it dry a little bit, because it's just easier to work with when it's dry. I'm getting so close to the height that I want it now. Gonna let it dry for a little bit, bring it over here, but we're just gonna put this last bit on the top. Nice pretty picture of the sun. It was a full page spread, lots and lots of glue. And you may have to reapply glue several times. One thing that my fingers kept getting sticky on this, so every now and then I'd have to get up and go wash my hands, because you should be washing your hands a lot anyway, especially when they're full of sticky glue. But the project itself was trying to stick to my fingertips, and I would get little bits of ink from the pages on my fingers, and it wound up, I was worried that I was going to wind up messing up the colors in other areas. So now I'm taking the bull clips off of the dried piece, taking my freshly glued piece, and I'm taking it around the outside. I think it was just because this was the final bit, I was much more careful about this than I was previous ones. So even though this is sped up a good deal, you can see that I'm still taking quite a bit of time with it. That also means there's plenty of times you're going to see me re-gluing this same piece, of picking it up, putting more glue on it, putting the clip on there, because it's trying to slide around on me with that wet glue. Again, if you ever want to know if someone thinks you're wasting your time with crafts, you are building patience, you are building problem-solving skills, you are building an attention to detail that few other things are going to teach you how to do. Not just this project, any kind of craft. I don't care if you're knitting or building something out of wood or drawing. It's that practice and over again bit. But hooray, look, that last little clip. I was taking a look at it. I wasn't liking how flimsy I was feeling in some areas of this. And I wasn't liking how it goes in, especially in that middle part. You can see there's a little wiggly part that just didn't stick as well as I wanted it to. So what are we going to do? What could I possibly do? Well, I still had about 1,000,000 strings left over. So we were just going to reinforce it. Lots of glue. And then we're going to wrap it around that middle part. And then don't quite have it in frame like I would hope to, but I don't have a very fancy filming setup at my home, as you can probably imagine. But I'm wrapping it around that weak middle part just to reinforce it, gluing it down real good, making sure it's in place. And that actually seemed to do the trick quite well. Let it dry. So now we've got my pin cup. Oh, dropped it. Still held together. That's okay. Still needs to dry, so I'm going to leave the bull clips on there for a little while, but I am pretty pleased with how that came out. It's just that can size. So we've got a shallow ball for putting pocket things. We've got a pen holder ready to go. And you can make these too. Or something else if you want to. You could probably make this in any number of different ways. So try this out. I hope it goes well. I hope you get to enjoy an audiobook or something else while you create, and share with us if you do make something like this or if you've tried something like this before. I hope you have a great afternoon or morning or whatever time of day you might be listening to this. It might be 4 in the morning for all I know. Perhaps it's a pleasant evening. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I hope to see you at some point soon in the future. Have a great day. This is Molly from Fortson Library and Henry County Library System. I'll be talking with you again soon.